Ease shift and Saliba's return. Arteta eyes two key changes ahead of Arsenal's showdown with Man City. As Arsenal prepare for a blockbuster clash against Manchester City this weekend, in today's video, we'll break it all down and also bring you the latest Arsenal news from the last 24 hours. There's a lot to cover, so be sure to like and subscribe to the channel so you don't miss any Daily Gunners content. Mikel Arteta is reportedly considering two significant changes to his starting 11, moves that could have a major impact on both the game and the ongoing title race. Despite an ambitious summer recruitment drive that added serious depth to the squad, Arteta has been surprisingly consistent with his lineups this season. But that consistency might now give way to calculated risk, as the stakes, and the opponents, demand something more. One of the standout moments from Arsenal's recent Champions League win over Athletic Club came not from the starters, but the so-called finishers. Gabriel Martinelli and Leandro Trossard came off the bench to turn the tide, once again proving Arteta's long-held belief: it's not about substitutes, it's about impact. Martinelli's performance, in particular, may have been enough to force his way back into the starting 11, especially with Manchester City on the horizon. Arteta has shown he's not afraid to ride momentum, and Martinelli's energy and history against City make a compelling case. Let's not forget, it was Martinelli who scored the 86th-minute winner the last time these two sides met at the Emirates. That goal briefly put Arsenal in pole position in the title race. Another home win against City, for the third season in a row, would be a powerful statement of intent, especially after last season's emphatic 5-1 win that sent shockwaves through the league, even if the title ultimately slipped away. Eze's new role could spark Arsenal's midfield. Should Martinelli return on the left, Eberechi Eze would likely shift inside, not out of the team. With Martin Ødegaard sidelined due to injury, this adjustment could open the door for Eze to take on a more central role, something fans have been eager to see. Eze's natural creativity and ability to glide past defenders could offer Arsenal a fresh attacking dimension from midfield, especially against a team like City that thrives on pressing high and suffocating the centre of the pitch. Meanwhile, Mikel Merino, who faced heavy criticism following the disappointment at Anfield, is expected to drop to the bench. That decision, though tough, could help balance the side better in a game that requires discipline as much as flair. Saliba's return, a crucial defensive boost. In defence, William Saliba is also in line for a return. The French defender was named on the bench in Spain but didn't feature, a move likely made to preserve his fitness for this weekend. And with Erling Haaland to deal with, Saliba's presence becomes almost non-negotiable. Christian Mosquera, who deputized admirably in Saliba's absence, may have to make way. Though he impressed, Saliba's composure and record against Haaland, having kept him quiet in multiple past encounters, gives Arteta a strong reason to bring him back into the fold. These two changes, Martinelli in for Merino and Saliba in for Mosquera, seem likely to be the only alterations to the starting 11, especially with a Carabao Cup fixture against Port Vale coming midweek. Arteta will want to keep his squad sharp, but also focused on what could be a season-defining game. Predicted Arsenal lineup versus Manchester City. Raya, White, Saliba, Gabriel, Calafiori, Zubimendi, Rice, Eze, Madueke, Martinelli, Gyökeres. Momentum, pressure, and the fine margins of a title race. This weekend's clash isn't just a test of talent, it's a test of nerve. Arsenal come into this fixture knowing that beating Manchester City could be more than just 3 points. It would be a psychological victory, a line in the sand that says, we're not chasing anymore, we're here to lead. Arteta's willingness to rotate at key moments, such as potentially starting Martinelli and bringing Saliba back, signals a tactical maturity. He's not just managing minutes, he's reading the emotional and physical rhythms of his squad. In a long season where injuries, fatigue, and confidence can make or break campaigns, those decisions become defining. The Ødegaard gap, and Eze's responsibility. With Ødegaard injured, there's been growing discussion around Arsenal's midfield identity. Eze moving into the No. 10 role would not just be a temporary fix, it could mark a subtle evolution in how Arsenal attack. Ødegaard is a metronome. He keeps the tempo. Eze, on the other hand, breaks rhythm, driving at defenders, creating chaos, and drawing fouls in dangerous areas. That difference might be exactly what Arsenal need against a City side that thrives on structure. Eze's unpredictability could unlock space that Ødegaard's precision passing sometimes doesn't. And in a game where margins are slim, breaking a single line of defense can change everything. The Saliba-Haaland duel, round 3. All eyes will be on the battle between William Saliba and Erling Haaland, a matchup that's quickly become one of the most compelling individual rivalries in the Premier League. In previous meetings, Saliba has kept the Norwegian unusually quiet, using his timing, strength, and reading of the game to neutralize City's most dangerous weapon. With Saliba back in the heart of defense, Arsenal fans will feel a renewed sense of security. His presence not only improves the backline, it lifts the entire squad's confidence. But this time, Holland will be just as hungry. After being kept off the score sheet before, he'll be motivated to prove a point. That duel could shape the game's tempo and tone. The bigger picture, squad depth and tactical identity. One of the biggest takeaways from this fixture, regardless of the result, will be how Arsenal manage the demands of squad rotation while maintaining tactical clarity. With players like Zubimendi and Calafiori adjusting to the Premier League, and names like Gyökeres and Majuk still settling into rhythm, chemistry is a work in progress. Arteta's approach so far has balanced stability with calculated experimentation. But games like this demand both consistency and courage. He'll need his finishers to make an impact again, but more importantly, he'll need his starters to impose themselves from the first minute, not wait until the 70th to react. The inclusion of Martinelli hints at that proactive mindset. Go at City, don't sit back. Press high. Win the duels. Force mistakes. Control the tempo. The same can be said of playing ease centrally. It's a bold move designed to add verticality and unpredictability. Repercussions in the title race. With both teams neck and neck in the table, a win here carries enormous weight. For Arsenal, it would affirm their status as genuine contenders, not just in name, but in mentality. It would also establish Emirates Stadium as a true fortress, especially with 3 consecutive home wins over City on the line. For Manchester City, dropping points could spark questions about fatigue, rotation, and whether their dominance is finally being challenged at a structural level. Guardiola's side has never lacked talent, but this season, the sense of invincibility is starting to waver. What comes next? Whatever the outcome, the real test will be how Arsenal respond. If they win, can they sustain the pressure and stay consistent? If they draw or lose, can they bounce back immediately without losing momentum? This match might not decide the title outright, but it will reveal who's best positioned to handle the weight of expectation heading into the crucial winter period. And that, more than anything, is what makes this more than a big game. It's a mirror. It will show Arsenal, and their fans, exactly who they are. Arteta eyes £32.5 million Champions League windfall as Arsenal secure crucial opening win. Mikel Arteta has plenty of reasons to be encouraged after Arsenal's composed 2-0 away win over Athletic Club in Bilbao, and not just from a footballing perspective. Beyond the strong start to their Champions League campaign, the result also marked the beginning of a potentially lucrative journey, with the club earning an immediate £1.8 million bonus for the victory. After a summer of ambitious spending aimed at deepening the squad and improving Arsenal's chances on multiple fronts, the early signs are promising. Arteta's men have looked sharp in the Premier League, picking up 9 points from their opening 12, and now they've taken their first European hurdle in stride, with key contributions from both new signings and familiar faces. Depth makes the difference. In Bilbao, Arteta showcased just how much depth Arsenal have added. New arrivals Christian Nørgaard and Piero Hincapié made their official debuts off the bench, while Gabriel Martinelli and Leandro Trossard, both starting on the sidelines, came on to score decisive second-half goals. Arteta has long emphasized the importance of finishers rather than substitutes, and on this occasion, his trust paid off. Something we've talked about consistently is the need for our finishers to impact the game, Arteta said after the match. Gabby and Leo came on and made the difference. They were exceptional, just like the rest of the team. In many moments, we played at a very high level. His satisfaction was evident, not only with the result, but with the versatility his squad displayed. When players can step in and win the game with those actions, with that precision, it's exactly what we need. It shows that our threat can come from anywhere. Financial stakes grow with every match. The £1.8 million earned from the Bilbao win is just the beginning. Under the current UEFA payout structure, each group stage victory is worth €2.1 million, around £1.8 million, while draws yield €700,000. If Arsenal manage to win all of their group stage matches, they could secure up to £14.4 million in match bonuses alone. But the financial upside doesn't stop there. Clubs also receive bonuses based on their final group stage position, with top-ranked teams earning up to €9.9 million, while the lowest-ranked earn around €275,000. Finishing first in the group, therefore, not only provides a more favorable round of 16 draw but also significantly boosts earnings. Advancing to the knockout stages adds even more value. Reaching the round of 16 comes with an additional €11 million. The rewards grow from there: €12.5 million for the quarterfinals, €15 million for the semifinals, €18.5 million for reaching the final, and a further €6.5 million for lifting the trophy. Should Arsenal replicate or surpass last season's semi-final run, they stand to collect over £32.5 million in UEFA prize money, not including the base participation fee of €18.62 million, £16.1 million, awarded to all teams in the league phase. Eyes on January and beyond. With such high stakes, financial and sporting, the importance of each Champions League fixture cannot be overstated. While Arteta has so far resisted the temptation to spend during the January window, even amid injury crises, a deep European run, paired with healthy financial returns, could give the club more flexibility in 2026. This time, the pressure isn't just about making it out of the group. It's about maximizing every opportunity, on the pitch and off it. And if the early signs are anything to go by, Arsenal are not only ready to compete, they're building something that can last. A strategic campaign built on depth, timing, and purpose. The win in Bilbao wasn't just about 3 points. It was a reflection of how carefully Arteta and Arsenal have constructed this squad to handle the pressure and rhythm of a demanding season. The fact that both goals came from impact players off the bench shows the tactical balance Arteta is striving for, not just a strong starting 11, but a bench that can change games. The decision to give minutes to Christian Nørgaard and Piero Hincapié, even in a late, controlled setting, was also strategic. It offered a soft introduction to European competition in Arsenal colours and sent a clear message: everyone in this squad has a role to play, and the manager is preparing each of them for bigger moments ahead. Echoes from the past, lessons for the present. The club doesn't have to look far to remember how quickly things can turn in Europe. Last season's Champions League campaign ended in disappointment when Arsenal were overpowered by eventual winners Paris Saint-Germain in the semi-finals, a tie that exposed defensive vulnerabilities and a lack of clinical edge in key moments. This time around, Arteta appears determined to avoid those mistakes. The early integration of new signings, rotation without sacrificing intensity, and clarity of tactical identity all suggest a manager who's learned from experience. The squad now has more steel, more variety, and, crucially, more maturity. But European nights can be unforgiving. Just ask Liverpool, who exited last season's tournament despite topping their group, only to be drawn against a surging PSG side that forced a penalty shootout at Anfield. Arsenal know that even finishing first may not guarantee an easier opponent, but it does set the tone, and often, the belief, for the rest of the tournament. Financial implications stretch beyond the club. The growing financial returns from the Champions League aren't just important for Arsenal's January ambitions, they also matter in the context of competing with the Premier League's elite. Clubs like Manchester City, Real Madrid, and Bayern Munich have long relied on consistent European earnings to maintain their dominance in the transfer market. For Arsenal, the difference between a group stage exit and a semi-final run is more than £30 million, funds that could define whether they chase a marquee signing in January or hold back. With financial fair play regulations tightening, these earnings give the club room to act without overextending. It also places added importance on performance, not just in the Champions League, but domestically as well. Every result, every rotation, and every decision Arteta makes carries long-term weight. Arteta's vision being realized, step by step. Arteta has always spoken about building a project, not just a team. In recent months, that vision has become clearer: a dynamic, disciplined squad that can press, control possession, and adapt to different game states without losing its structure. What we're seeing now, from the intelligent use of finishers to the integration of newcomers, is the product of 3 years of careful planning. The group has been shaped not just with talent, but with the right mentality. They don't panic. They don't rely on individuals. And when needed, they have answers off the bench. The road ahead, one step at a time. Arsenal's next Champions League fixtures will come thick and fast, with rotation continuing to be crucial as Premier League fixtures and domestic cups crowd the calendar. But with momentum on their side and money on the line, each victory becomes more than just a result, it becomes leverage. Leverage for growth. Leverage for trust. Leverage for reinforcements in January. And if this team keeps performing like they did in Bilbao, with patience, precision, and purpose, there's no telling how far they might go this season.